Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. We're taking a look here at SUI, double checking a few key factors. We're still range bound, still in a good shape. I would say we lose this lower range, maybe a different story altogether. But for the most part, respecting and honoring our ascending trend line. And at this point, I still think we're more likely to break up than down. However, we are retesting this lower range more frequently than the upper range. Could imply we see a break into this 350 and or possibly 340 range. Okay, so we'll talk about that and potential there. We'll take a look at liquidation levels too and just verify, see if there's any heavy concentrations in different areas. And while we're getting this to load, I want to say thank you again for being an awesome part of my life. Deeply appreciate you doing that, or more so, hitting the like button, commenting below, and just being a positive, encouraging community. So really appreciate that. Just increasing the text size here for us, and then just quickly understanding where we're going to go from here. And when we look at liquidation, folks, we want to just kind of understand this is just going to tell us where we have heavy shorts, heavy longs, or maybe high leverage or low leverage shorts versus longs. Well, this doesn't distinguish the difference. The location tells us a lot. So in other words, we have a lot of liquidation here at about $3.96 to $4. Those are heavy shorts, but more importantly, those are high leverage shorts right there. You can see low leverage is further away because their liquidation price is further. Keep in mind too, this also includes stop losses, so there's a handful of different ways to interpret this, but you can see there's a lot more liquidation on the upside than the downside right now, implying that the price is probably going to see a wick up to 4/420 in the relative near future. While that's not a guarantee, it depends on the overall market. We're still in a bullish trend right now, and while that still occurs and maintains, we need to recognize that the likelihood of that happening is greater than it is to pull down to this $3 range, if you will. Okay, so again, upside makes more sense than downside at this point. It doesn't mean we can't still see a little bit of a correction of 350, 340 though. Please understand that. All right, so let's take a quick look here at liquidation levels and recognize a few key factors here. Back in data here, we can kind of see that the liquidation delta is higher for longs. Basically, more people are taking longs than shorts. That's usually a good sign because, again, it's a bullish trend, right? When we start to see this shift in momentum during a bullish trend, it's a different story altogether. For right now, this is kind of par for the course or just very standard in the situation. Okay, 340 is the heaviest concentration of open interest here recently, and we take a look at the local here. We can see some poor individuals pretty heavy at 388 and or 376. Okay, those are two heavy concentrations. We're below that, so we can presume that may be a resistance range for us. Okay. So now we've established, kind of the back in there, what's going on in the front here. Easy way to understand it is the daily time frame is fully bullish. There's no way around it. Most coins are going to exude the same behavior. The thing we want to pay attention to is money flow index. It is tapering off, which is standard, but if we do take a look at the volume too, we can see here that minus yesterday, we've seen pretty consistent volume. However, with volume being lower yesterday, that implies that the price is more likely to continue lower. Okay, so again, money flow index and volume speak very loud. Pun is intended there, of course, and it's important to recognize that. Just keep in mind too, Bitcoin, I do feel Bitcoin's going to break out to that 93 plus K range and essentially retest its all-time high soon, possibly even today. If that happens, we could see just an instant, recovery from SUI. But for the most part, this is just a slightly bearish divergence on the daily time frame, but everything else is fully bullish. 4-hour time frame, we lost a 20-day SMA here as well. It's generally unfavorable. It doesn't mean the price is going to go straight down. It just implies that we're more likely to go down than up at this point, or we have a propensity to do so. It's not even a statistical probability the price is going to go down. It's just, it increases the odds of the price not going up, if that makes sense, right? So again, the SMA is good to understand. We also have this local point of control at 375. So people that have invested in this coin, they're heavy at 375, that's the average. With us being below that, that reinforces that as a resistance. So hypothetically, the price comes up here and continues lower. That's generally what you'll see in most trading conditions. However, Bitcoin is making a go at it here, trying to make its all-time high again, retest at 93.5-ish range, and if that happens, we may see a run from SUI, but for the most part, this is somewhat of a bearish sign here, okay? So again, don't get upset with me. I just want to throw it out there. There's some folks that get really perturbed when I say the price should pull back based on technical analysis. I'm looking at this completely abstractly. I have no emotional bias whatsoever on SUI, okay? I have a spot bag. I add to my position sometimes. That's about it, but I'm not passionately ridiculous about this coin. I'm not that way with any coin. So you'll just always get straightforward, output, so to speak, or interpretations of the charts. We're over 50 on the RSI though. Generally considered as a positive, but this reinforces that support level that we have at about the 363 range. So we lose 363. I do think there's a chance we see, 343 to 350 range. Okay. Again, usually what it'll look like, it'll break down, come back up, and retest, and come down further. Or we could even see it kind of bleed out like this, and then perform a bearish backtest of the ascending trend line that will probably run concurrent with this guy here. Okay, so it's just some things we want to kind of pay attention to and look for. But for the moment, we're holding above support, but it's not a great sign. You don't want to be testing 50 on the RSI. In general, it's not really optimal, even though it's a likely pivot point and we could see further upside. Hourly time frame, we can recognize here we're probably going to see some range-bound activity. We're now below the cloud, which, wow, we haven't seen this in a very long time. We spent maybe 3 or 4 hours back here in the 290 range, but this is a significant divergence. So again, I'm not like, I'm not crying wolf here and letting you know that SUI is in the doghouse, which that's actually kind of funny in a way. But what I'm getting at here is that we're below the cloud. Generally, that's construed as a bearish sign. It's a situation where you don't want to take a long into. And the reason why is because you can see the cloud here hanging out right there at that point of control. There's a reason for that. So until we get above that level, there's no reason to take a long. And I know, people struggle with this all the time. Why wait till the price is higher to take a long? It's because you'd have more confidence knowing that the bulls are back in control. Right now, they're not. Okay, that's just a simple way to understand it. Now, Bitcoin could very well surge, and I'm sure SUI will too. As we can see, Bitcoin is breaking free from its little tentative range there at 92.5. If that happens, we'll probably see somewhat of a jump here for SUI. But just know until we get soundly above 375, there's no reason to consider a long position with confidence. Again, I like to take trades with confidence. It increases the odds of success, and I would recommend you do the same thing too. It's easier said than done, of course, but patience is paramount. And a lot of times it can be very difficult to wait. So I get it. Either way, try not to FOMO in. I'll update our playout charts here shortly. This bullish rectangle is still technically in play. It's just not looking great with us establishing lower lows and lower highs. And this isn't really like a favorable scenario at all. Okay, so just know that's kind of where we're at there. Either way, we'll look forward to seeing the next one. I'll update our information here soon. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. I deeply appreciate you watching. Have a good one. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you.